between the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Evans has it left side. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 6 carries, 51 yards.
I can't remember the last time we did a game and a coach didn't talk about establishing the run first. But they've lost 2 straight games, so they still want to do that. But they've got to have some contingencies, some other options. Expect them maybe to throw it a little bit to open up things and maybe run it a little bit more later in the game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And Brate, the tight end's got it. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Come on, let's go! Brad 38!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And that's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
Reset. Hey, easy.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. It was Jason Pierre-Paul who was able to get him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Hard throw, incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Come on, let's go! Brad 38!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You're coming! You're coming! 3 down! 3 down! Oh, yeah, I'm coming! Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
They'll drop to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On play action, now Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
Well, there's a bunch of pressure that time on 3rd down. They nearly got him. Probably should have gotten him, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
The punt team on now as this one's sent away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
What? 90! What? 90!
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and
Here we
long.
go! Brad 38!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Gonna look deep for Wilson. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Adams. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The numbers for Adams in last week's game. 3 catches, 63 yards.
And I'd certainly expect them to use him quite a bit because he runs excellent routes, has good hands, and knows how to get open.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
That's fine, yeah.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Steps away to his left. A nice job there on the escape and scramble of 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. His throw incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
They had a good chance to get the first points of the game on the board, but what a great job defensively, getting a hand in there, knocking it away, and preventing that first touchdown.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And that little deke, the juke move that we saw, able to give him the 1st down yardage before he's brought down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this one is right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw here. And this one caught by Cameron Brate. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. His side, they've got the lead. But I think, he's not happy with how he's played. That's the bottom line. But how many adjustments need to be made when, bottom line, you're winning?
Yeah, you're just trying to play better for yourself, because if you do, then you've got a chance to increase your lead, and your team will play better. Look, when you fight your internal battle as a quarterback and you're not playing as well as you want to, just fall back on the old cliche. There's no I in team, but there's definitely one in win.
Look at that. Davis, yeah, no I in team, but he'll see if he can pick himself up a little bit here on this drive. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down.
Well, how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Back to throw here. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll look to throw. He's got Evans. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Looking to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Evans. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll set up to throw and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Hurry up, hurry up.
Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete here.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Ohio!
They're going to look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Jones. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals. It's 6-3. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On first down, Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go!
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Let's go! White, 90!
They'll set up a throw. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Back to throw now on 1st down. Throw right side taken in by Godwin. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the 1st half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Looking deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They had enough yards for the 1st down, but a clutch hit right there defensively. Jars it free. No 1st down.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker board?
Yeah, those two.
A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now a play fake. Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. Touchdown, Packers. Kiki QT, his first touchdown of the new season. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Cut!
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run here with Balazs. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Balazs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. On play action, it's Rodgers. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run a little bit. That call was made to get upfield penetration by his defensive front to try and get into the gaps, get upfield into the backfield, and make a big play. I think that was actually called not so much just to, to get it done that way, but to say, hey, guess what? We're going to be aggressive, and we had an opportunity and seized it.
Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
And they'll run it here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And on the ground they go with the running back. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, But, boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his second touchdown of the night. And the Packers add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter.
Let's go!
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go! What? None!
He'll look to throw, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there, and it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Let's go! What? None! What?
They'll drop to throw. They're able to locate Wilson. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And break, the tight end's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Again, he'll drop to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He's going to fire one deep, middle of, and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off right around the 43. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Red 38.
Back to throw here. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock. They know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
We are going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He sets to fire deep. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Rashard Robinson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Come on, let's go!
They'll look to throw now on first down. Evans has it left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now back to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They'll set up to throw. And a catch right side by Evans. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Looking to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Let's go! What? 90!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll set up a throw. It's caught. Jones. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Nick Perry in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there.
Start offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Here we go!
They'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And they'll run it here. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
On 3rd down, it's Hardy. Oh, able to avoid him. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Here we go. 58.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd down and 12. Now a play fake. Rodgers under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Jordan Jenkins in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.